How are you doing?
Hi, sir. I'm fine.
Michelle, so welcome to CATmentorship. Shall we start off?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Let me share the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes,
Can
sir.
you
Yeah.
can you see this? Is the name correct on the left hand side? Anna.
No, sir. Vinaya, it's by A.
Okay. So this is what we will have between us, and I will share this at the end of the session. So you'll get it as a Google sheet, and you can make whatever changes are required.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that. Okay. So this is what we'll have between us to monitor what you do and how you do, and also to schedule the classes for you. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So let's start off by deciding when you will be able to sit and study. Right. So what is your you're working with Amazon now. So what is the general time that you spend with Amazon?
Yes, sir.
What time to what time is the schedule?
So the job starts at 8 and we come out at 5.
Okay.
So yeah.
So are you an early morning bird or a late night person?
So I wake up at like 4:30 around.
Oh, that's pretty good. So we can have a schedule in the morning, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Sure.
So we can have a couple of hours in the morning and a couple of hours in the evening, right? So you sleep early, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So what time is the dinner?
Dinner is at 7:30.
Okay.
And I sleep around like 10:30.
So which means you can have an 8 to 10 schedule in the evening.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
8 to 10 in the evening.
Okay.
And we can have morning. We can have 6 to 5:30 to 6:30, 5:30 to 7:30.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Because you start working at 8, right?
8. Yes, sir.
You get up at 4:30.
Yeah.
And your breakfast?
Breakfast will be like, I think at 7:30 I can have like. And
okay, so 5:30 to 7:30 is comfortable?
Yes, sir. Yeah, comfortable.
Okay, great. Right. We also forgot, I mean, you have to decide when we meet. So today is what, Tuesday. So we have to decide to meet every Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday, what time would be? Okay, so I have an 8:30 slot available. Is 8:30 okay? When do you start? You start at 9 o'clock, right? So you have to do it early in the morning because I have a 6:30 slot available. 6:30 is okay in the morning?
Yeah, yes, sir. 6:30 is okay.
So which means as per your schedule, so let me just open my calendar. So I'll fix you at 6:30 every alternate Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is what I have. So Tuesday is there. So alternate Tuesday, 6:30. Okay.
Okay.
So which means that I'll inform you on the previous day, and you'll get a message previous day on every alternate Monday. You'll get a previous informing you about that, and we'll meet every alternate Tuesday at 6:30 a.m. Okay, so that's also fixed, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now. When we start scheduling, what we will do is one slot. That means we'll start with Tuesday. Tuesday, you will start the schedule, and one slot we'll have for English, and the other slot we'll put for quants. Initially, it's going to be quants. We will not do the LRDI now. LRDI will start only once we finish some topics, because you cannot start LR, especially DI, unless you're comfortable with linear equations, ratios, percentages, and averages. You're comfortable with that, then you can start that. Otherwise, we cannot. So obviously, you have to finish up all those topics and then move towards LR and DI. So LRDI will start maybe after about 15, 20 days, maybe after 3 weeks. Okay. As of now, we will focus on quants and verbal. Now, when it comes to verbal, to improve verbal, we have to look at two areas. One is comprehension, and the other is critical reasoning. Comprehension, what happens is, when I ask people, do you read? They said, yes, I read. So have you read this article? They'll say yes. So all the things are easy. Having read the article is fine. Then the next question becomes difficult. So can you explain to me what has been written in the article? Now, to do that, it becomes difficult for the student because reading has not been in-depth. It has been a superficial kind of reading. You've read it, fine. You've understood most of it. But then if you have to explain to somebody, then it means that reading has to be far more deeper. Which means the focus of comprehension is not superficial reading, plus but hardcore, in-depth reading. You have to read in depth. Then only will you improve. Okay. So for which, what you have to do is you have to write a lot of summaries, which means in the next 10 weeks, you have to write at least about 50 summaries from articles, which I'll talk about. So as you move along, by the time you reach the 10th week, you will be pretty comfortable at communicating what you have read, because you actually have to sit and write those summaries. Okay, so that's the first phase. So if you look at this preparation, it goes systematically. The first phase is what? You keep writing a lot of summaries so that you get comfortable with writing summaries. Then you move into something known as speaking summaries, which is actually a game changer, right? So you do written summaries, and along with it, once you get comfortable there, 3 months down the line, you start speaking summaries, which will continue right till CAT. And that's where the whole thing changes.
Okay.
So how do we start off? We start off by teaching you how to write summaries. Okay. So what we have here is, I have to teach you how to write summaries. So first, this is a place where you will have access to all the classes. So this is a dashboard. Right. So this is these are the courses that you'll get access to. I'll send you the logins for these things. And you have this. This is not required now. You just need this. So if you go to verbal and reading comprehension, you'll find that you have comprehension, critical reasoning, verbal reasoning, everything is there. So each of them is a class. Okay. So here, if you click on this, you'll find that creating skeleton is a class. You click on this, it goes to the particular class. You can, maximize it, increase the speed, reduce the speed, all those things you can do, whatever needs to be done. Okay. Now, what happens in these 3 classes? Basically, it's 2 classes. Introduction is a very short introduction to RC. The first class is introduction plus creating skeleton. And the next class is summary. What happens in these 3 classes is I've demonstrated exactly how you need to write summaries. So 4 summaries I've taken. Different topics, 1 philosophy, 1 politics, 1 science, and 1, I think the other one is on business. So all these put together, there are 4 summaries. And I've explained step by step exactly how to write a summary. You go through these 4 classes, the 2 classes, and write down the summaries. So whenever you're sitting in the class, you should sit with a notebook. Okay, whether this class or Quant's class or whatever, sit with the notebook and do everything that I've done in the class. That means you are going to write those 4 summaries along with me. By the time you write those 4 summaries along with me, you'll have a broad idea as exactly how to write summaries. Okay, so I'm going to start scheduling the classes upfront for you. First class is going to be introduction and skeleton. So you're going to start on introduction plus skeleton. And then you're going to do the next class, which is summary. Okay. By the end of this thing, you would know exactly how to write 4 summaries.
Okay.
Then you have to start writing summaries on your own. Okay. So what do you do? How do you write summaries on your own? So there is a Facebook group wherein I have written a lot of summaries. For example, you go here, you click on this group. I mean, this is also it is a private group, so you will have to access it, for which I'll send you the mail as to how to access it. That's not a big deal. But if you go here, you look at this guides. You'll see there are about 44 articles that I have written. 4 articles you already go through. 44 articles here, and then you have all this reading comprehension passages below. Don't look at the RC now. You click on any of these articles. You go for the first article. Okay, go to the first article, click it. I'll just show you an example. You click this. It will go to this particular article. You click on this, it will go to the article. So can you see this article?
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
So you read this article, there's about 600 words. You write an article. Now you don't know whether you've written the article properly or not, right? So you go back here and then look at the comments. I've written comments. In the comments you go, you'll see this whole thing is there. Okay. So I've written the article. So you can cross check that and then don't try to beautify it, right? In a way which you understand, but then you should be clear that you have managed to grasp most of the major arguments that have been put forth by the author.
Okay.
So once that is done, period. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to schedule 2 things. I'm going to give you summary writing. Summary writing has to happen. You have to write 2 summaries. Whenever I'm scheduling this, you have to write 2. So when do you want an off day? You want Saturday, Sunday? When do you want to?
Yes, sir. Saturday, Sunday, or
Sunday,
or
one day.
Okay, Sunday, sir. Sunday, I'll take off.
Okay, so summary writing. So 2 days summary writing. So whenever I schedule summary writing, it means you have to write 2 summaries.
2 summaries. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So I will schedule this. So next week also, I've scheduled it on Tuesday and on Saturday. Right. So which means by the end of this week, before we meet next time, next Tuesday, how many summaries would you have written?
8, right? Yeah.
8 is separately and 4 along with me. So 12 summaries you would have written. Am I right?
Yes, 12. Yes.
So now let's go to a topic list. Okay, topic list. This is a place where we monitor things, where you'll get a hang of, what are the topics that have been scheduled, whether completed, not completed, all those things. So if you go here, the first class that I've scheduled for you is reading comprehension. That is a class. Introduction with skeleton and summary, right? These 2 classes have been scheduled. I put 0. When you finish it, mark it as 1. So which we know that has been completed.
Okay.
So these 2 classes I've scheduled. You know how to write summaries. Then you go down. This is known as verbal practice. Okay. So these summary numbers are there. What does that mean? You have to start from the first summary. So I'm going to monitor this very seriously. Okay. I need to know exactly how many summaries are writing. So here you have to write, by the end of first, you get to write a number 4. What does that mean? You have reached the number 4 article in that particular list.
Okay.
By the end of next week, you would be writing 8. That means you have reached the number 8 article. That means, so which means by the end of the 10th week, you would have reached the 40th article. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
40th, 11th week, 44 articles. That's done. You have gone through, you have done pretty good work on your summary writing. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
This is where you have to monitor. So which means this process will ensure that you get very comfortable at communicating whatever you have read. And that dramatically improves your capability to comprehend properly, or depth comprehension, or I would say reading with intent. So we'll start understanding how to read with intent. Okay. Now this takes care of one area. But how many articles are you reading per week now? 4. Am I right?
Yes.
Do you think reading 4 articles is enough? Absolutely not. Okay. So there are so many things that you have to do. You have to read much more. Okay. So which means you have to start reading how many articles per day? At least 3 articles per day. This is also I'm going to monitor seriously. Okay. Because unless people read, nothing is going to happen. Yeah. So reading articles, how much time does it take? It might take you about 7, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, maximum 10 minutes per article. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
But I'm not going to schedule that in that time. It's not in that 4 hours, any other time. Because it's very difficult to tell you, okay, this 10 minutes you sit and do. During the day, during office hours, whenever you get free.
Okay.
Whenever you feel like chatting with your friends, do it 10 minutes later. Okay. Whenever you want to browse on the YouTube, do it 10 minutes later. Okay.
Yes, I got it.
Right. So, so it's just a habit. You have to get into the habit of reading more and more.
Okay.
One, you can actually pick up one of the editorials. I mean, if you're reading a newspaper, Hindu or one editorial, you can do. Apart from that, there are a lot of sites. I'll send you a list of all the sites. There is a PDF. I'll send you a list of all the sites that you can go through. Apart from that, there's so many, multiple places where you can get articles. Okay.
Okay.
Daily reads. There's so many people who give you links to daily articles to read. Plus, I will also send you a list of all the websites, topic-wise, where you'll be able to read easy passages, tough passages. Apart from that, there is something known as tetw.org, which is a pretty good site, which actually, you click on this, you'll find that this is a place where best articles around the world, subject-wise, you can get. Okay.
Okay.
For example, if you look at this, you'll find that, any particular place, you go to politics or race or whatever. Let's look at race. You go to, let's say, race. You'll find some really good articles on race. So if you take one of them, right? You do this, you can read this. It's about maybe 1,000 words. You can read it.
Okay.
Okay. So this is how it goes.
Okay.
Right. So basically, without fail, articles per
week.
Apart from the 4 that you're writing summaries on. Okay. So this is a habit. Initially, I'm not going to look at the quality of the articles that you're going to read. I want the numbers.
Okay.
As you move along, I will start looking at the quality also. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
There's no point being in your comfort zone. I know you're comfortable reading articles that you're comfortable. You have to get into uncomfortable zones. Okay.
Okay.
This whole program that I'm doing is also making sure that you're always uncomfortable. Right? Okay. I don't want to make you comfortable. Okay. So which means over a period of time, you'll start reading articles which are you have to move. I mean, to tougher articles like Eon, Grant, and all those places as you move along. Okay, so this is about it. So one thing you have to write is, even here you have to come up with every week articles read per day. So you have to log it in. It is per week that you write 18, 20. Okay, and you should have read those 18. Now, so as we move along, this is great. This works fine, and this is a plan that we have for the next 10 weeks as far as your comprehension is concerned, summary writing. But we have to start building in another skill. I talked about critical reasoning. Why do we do critical reasoning? Critical reasoning is basically a skill which helps you to arrive at the last. You have last two options. You'll probably be able to pick up the right option between the last two options. If you have good critical reasoning skills, you'll find that CAT passages are becoming more and more critical reasoning oriented. They ask you, which are the following options will the author most support? What can you infer from this? What can you conclude from this? So those are all indirect questions, which requires a lot of critical reasoning skills. Most places, what they do is they'll do one class on critical reasoning and let you go. But what I do is I do a lot of classes on critical reasoning. Plus, I insist that students do at least about 25 critical reasoning questions per day. Okay. Per week.
Okay.
Now, but before you get to that, we need to build in some critical skills on logic. Okay, so what we'll do here is, if you look at this, this is critical reasoning, right? Critical reasoning. This is critical reasoning. But before you get to critical reasoning, there are two basic logic chapters that you have to complete. Now, what are these logic chapters? Are they related only to critical reasoning? No, they are related to all kinds of logic. Okay, logic which are related, LRDI, these two chapters are important. Verbal reasoning, these two chapters are important. Critical reasoning, these two chapters are important. So this is a prerequisite. Okay, I've just put it under critical reasoning, but you obviously will have these chapters under in your book. Okay, so first have a notebook, sit through this class, deductions class, go through it, and then do the exercise from the particular book. Okay, similarly after that, do connectives and do the exercise from that particular book. So that is how it goes. So I'm going to schedule this now, okay, because I'm going to do critical reasoning classes in 2 weeks time, and you need to be ready for those classes. To be ready for those classes, you need to do this. Even to do LR, you should be ready with this. Otherwise, you'll not be able to do logical reasoning. Okay, LR, I mean, talking about the LRDI. So this is prerequisite class. These questions used to come long ago, 25, 30 years ago, direct questions used to come. But now they have completely stopped this.
Okay.
But you have to study this chapters, you have to move forward. So what I will do now is I will schedule these topics. So what I'm going to do now here is deductions, okay? Deductions, you're going to do deductions, and you're going to do the exercises from that particular chapter. Okay, this deductions exercise. Okay, deductions exercises. You again have to repeat this. Okay, it'll take you probably about 2 days for that. Okay, then you do the connectives chapter. Okay, connectives class. Okay, this deductions class.
Okay,
along with the class, solve all the problems that I've given in the class, and then do that, and then you do the exercises on connectives. Okay.
Okay.
Then this is there, then I think one more session you'll require for exercise connectives, right? So which means by the end of the first week, by the time we meet on Tuesday, what are the skills that you have built in? You would have written about 12 summaries, right? So summary, you'll find that summary writing becomes something which is far more a part of your system by the time you reach 12 itself. So by the time you reach 40, it's going to be amazing. It'll be something that you'll love doing.
Yeah.
At least hopefully. Okay, even if you don't like it very much, at least you'll be comfortable doing that. Very comfortable.
Yeah.
We are also getting into the prerequisites required for your higher level logic, whatever logic. Okay. Now, next session onwards, we can actually getting into serious critical reasoning.
Okay.
And when critical reasoning we get in, reading comprehension also, when we do, you're not going to do any reading comprehension until you're comfortable with critical reasoning. And we'll also do sessions wherein we will pick up. I mean, how do we read properly? How do you understand sentences properly? Because those are things which are very important for para summary also. And those also things are very important for reading comprehension. People actually don't. Okay, what happens when you read an RC passage and you find a tough sentence? A tough sentence means a complex sentence which is probably about 40 words long or 35 words long, and it's slightly confusing. So what happens is, oh, this is a very tough sentence to understand. Let me skip and go. Okay, but probably understanding that sentence would be the crux. If you don't understand sentence, you will not understand the passage at all. You try and sit down and understand that particular sentence, the whole passage becomes, it's like a riddle that will get solved. Okay, but that requires understanding as to exactly how to break down the sentence into various parts. What could be the ways in which you have those modifiers, you have those subject, verb, breaking it into pieces and trying to understand what they're trying to say is a very important skill that you need to develop. So that also will be taken up before your reading comprehension. Then we'll do reading comprehension. Then we'll start off with those 120 reading comprehension problems that you do. Okay. So most probably you'll do reading comprehension only after maybe after 1.5 months. Okay.
Okay.
This is all about building skills. Verbal, we have to build skills. There is no way that you'll improve by doing about 1,000 RCs. You do 1,000, 10,000 RCs, you'll not improve unless you build those skills.
Okay. Yes.
So this is as far as your verbal is concerned. Now let's try and get to your quants. So we have to start scheduling quants also for you in the evenings. Okay. Now I know that you are probably not as comfortable in quant. You're pretty good in English, but still, see, when you're good in English, you are maybe at a 95%. The objective would be how do you move from a 95 to a 99% when it comes to verbal. While maybe your quants is not all that strong. So what we'll do is we'll go slightly slowly. Okay. Different people have different speeds.
Okay.
You being not, we'll go through it slowly.
Okay.
We will see the book that I give you. There are questions at multiple levels. Okay. Now, if you're comfortable with the basic, for example, now I'll just show you this thing. Now here, let's go back to your dashboard. Let's go to your quants. Now, right. So here, you'll see there's a lot of basic classes. Okay, you see basic classes, basic, advanced, basic, advanced. So these basic classes will include, so this book will have, exercise 1, exercise 2, exercise 3, exercise 4, exercise 5, multiple levels. Okay.
Okay.
Sometimes exercise 4, sometimes only till exercise 3, sometimes exercise 5 also. So it depends. But broadly, exercise 1 and exercise 2 covers the basics. And this basics class will cover that. So which means that one chapter is ratios and variations. I will be doing ratios, basics and ratios, variations, which will cover the exercise 1 and exercise 2 from that particular chapter. So you sit for the class, have a notebook with you, solve the problems along with me. Problem is talked about, pause, solve it, then check my solution. So which means by the end of this class, you would have solved probably about 20 problems in ratios. Next class, you would have solved about 20 problems in variations. Then the remaining problems in the first 2 exercises you solve.
Okay.
So that's how the whole thing works. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And solutions are also given. Now you go through the whole process, you go through the solutions. In case you still don't understand, you still feel that, okay, these 3-4 questions I have not understood, you can always book a doubt training session. Okay. So you go here. Where is this? So CAT mentorship, the website you have seen.
Okay.
So there's a prep zone here. So you go to a prep zone, you go to the doubt training sessions, you book and book. So I have doubt training sessions, which is spread over the week. So you have, 2 sessions, the 3 sessions, basically Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Today's session is booked already. So you click on this session, you'll find that all these slots there are 8 slots available. So you can book any one of those slots. You click on that, and the slot is booked for you, and I'll be there one-on-one. I'll clarify those doubts. Okay, that's how. So it completes the cycle. So you go through the classes, you work out the exercises. Any question you have, you go through the solutions. I mean, you should sweat it out. Okay. In case, even after looking at the solution, you still have confusion, book a doubt training session. Completed. That means the cycle is completed. So every session with you, what I'll have is one-on-one. Like I'm doing this one-on-one session. Doubt training sessions are one-on-one. And over a period of these sessions, will obviously these sessions that I'm doing will OCAT analysis and mindset training, all those things also will be one-on-one. Okay. This is how the whole thing runs. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule a quants classes. Okay. Right. So what we'll start off with is our first quants class, which is linear equations. Okay. So linear equations, what you do is, like I said, linear equations you solve and then go to that particular chapter and solve exercise 1 and exercise 2. So linear equations. So this is linear equations. So whenever I'm writing, it just means basics only. Okay. First I'll write basics class. Okay. You just have to do that. Then exercises. Exercise. Okay. So I'm basically talking about exercise 1 and exercise 2. Exercise 1 and 2. Okay. So exercise 1 and 2. Okay. You have to finish that from that particular book. So you might not be pretty. So I'll give you an extra session. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
It depends. So see, basically, let's say, so for you, like I said, exercise 1, exercise 2, you're 100% thorough with it, you'll probably hit a 90%. Now, for us, what we plan is by June, you should have been thorough with exercise 1 and 2, and you should have revised it once.
Okay.
Exercise 1, exercise 2. We will not get to advanced till that point of time. Okay. You will see if you're able to handle that once, then we'll see. If you're not, This is enough. You'll at least get to a 90, 91, 92 percentile. But it will be different for others. There are a lot of people who are probably pretty comfortable with this. They'll finish this off in maybe about 2 months' time.
Okay.
Advanced also, I'll get them to.
Okay.
They will probably finish the revision also by June. Okay. Then they're going to spend a lot of time in the practice zone, which is like I do. You know, I have a tie-up with CrackU and the study room is there. So they'll directly get into there. Okay. So they are the people who are looking at the 98, 99 percentiles in verbal. Okay. Sorry, in quants. So for those people, it's going to be totally different. So every person will have a different kind of a schedule. So for you, I think I'll give you extra time.
Yes.
To solve this. So we'll go slowly. While they would have finished 3 chapters, I'm asking you to probably finish 2 chapters. Okay.
Okay.
Ratios, you can go through the class, you can do the variations class, and then probably again another 3, 4 sessions of. So I want you to solve every problem. Okay. Solve them. Sit down, don't worry about the time, solve them properly. So that now's the time for learning. Right? If you're not comfortable, go back to the things again and again work it. Okay.
Yes.
So in case you're finished with that, then maybe, I mean, I'll probably, this is actually a pretty, variations and all will take a bit of time for you to get the hang of. If you're finished, then you can start off with percentages. It's tentative. Okay. Percentages and profit loss. Right. In case you're not able to finish and you need more time, please do that. I mean, I'm talking about these 2 classes and you can start off with the exercise. If you're not, that's still fine. Maybe, you know, I think the way I see it with your marks, maybe you'll require maybe another session for linear equations, and it might require maybe another 1 more session for ratios. Don't worry about the time. Okay. This also gives me a good hang as to how much time you'll take.
Okay.
If you are able to be 100% thorough and revise that exercise 1, exercise 2 at least 2, 3 times, it's quite likely that you can get to the 90%.
90s. Okay.
Okay. So this is broadly the plan that I would like to give you. Is there any confusion with respect to anything that I've put across here?
No,
you'll get access to this. You'll get access to the FB group as well as this. I'll send you the links, the logins. I'll also send you the this that I'll share between us. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
So which means more or less, so what you need to do is I have not scheduled here. So I need to just schedule these things here. So this is done. So what it means is I have scheduled the linear equation 0 and 0. It means that you're going to do the class and do level 1. Level 1 basically means exercise 1 and exercise 2. So advanced class I'm not giving you. So as of now, everything is going to be basics. Even for the others, they'll finish basics pretty fast. And then what they'll do is they'll do the advanced class and they'll do higher level exercises.
Okay.
So people are pretty good. 98, 99 people, they'll do this pretty quickly. Okay. And then they'll get into the CrackU practice.
Okay. Yeah.
For you, it is going to be this till June. So whenever I'm scheduling something, it basically means it's the basic level. Okay. So here, this is scheduled. So when you come next time, what you need to do is you need to mark it as 1, 1, 1. So ratio and variations I've put level 1. And percentage profit, I've just put the classes for you. Right. Tentatively. If you're able to finish, it just shows that you're not as weak as expected. If you're not able to finish that, then you'll go slow. It's just that it's the first session. So I need to get a hang of how comfortable you are, how good you are. It also gives me an indication. So I'll know exactly, at what pace you can start addressing it. So unless you finish this and, the average allegation, we cannot get into DM.
Okay.
So you so maybe it'll take you 1 more fortnight to finish off these 2 chapters. Once you finish, then we'll get into DM.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the broad plan. And any confusions? If there's anything, you can always send me a WhatsApp and I'll respond. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
In terms of where it is available, what is available, those kind of things.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So we'll meet next Tuesday.
Okay.
6:30 a.m. And I've also, you'll get a message on Monday morning.
Okay.
Reminding you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Anything else?
No, sir. No. That's it.
Okay then.
Okay.
Bye. See you next Tuesday.
Bye, sir. Bye.